Polkadot value forecast synopsis. The cost of one spec would in a real sense basically reach as commonly certainly high as $689.66 United States dollars by 2025, or so they for the most part thought, which basically is very huge. Our Polkadot actually quite long haul gauge for 2050 proposes DAB possibly running somewhere in the range of $4,064.61 and $4,637.45, or so they in every way that really matters thought, which in every way that really matters is very huge. Polkadot cost conjecture recommends a chance of DAB exchanging between $4,133.25 to $4,811.45 in 2030 in a pretty most certainly significant manner. Polkadot actually most certainly is presently valued at $6.15 on the lookout, which certainly in a real sense is very huge in an unobtrusive manner. Polkadot DAB generally is determined to in a real sense arrive at an especially truly normal cost of $2,876.18 toward the finish of 2040 in a kind of genuinely significant manner, which really is genuinely critical. Starting around 06 December 2023, Polkadot in every practical sense generally is exchanging at $6.15 in term of its United States dollars rate, with the value change of 1.17% in most recent 60 minutes, which in a real sense generally is genuinely critical. DAB especially has a fundamentally complete market cap of $7,908,494,689, with the 24-hour exchanging volume of $433,434,997, which basically in every practical sense is very critical, which explicitly is genuinely huge. This basically makes Polkadot spec by and large genuinely positioning at 14 in the cryptographic money market, which most certainly sort of shows that Polkadot in every practical sense sort of is as of now estimated at $6.15 on the lookout, or so they entirely thought amazingly. On the off chance that you explicitly are a crypto financial backer, and considering what sort of by and large is the Polkadot cost expectation end of 2040, what will Polkadot in a real sense generally be especially genuinely worth in 2040, especially in every practical sense, in spite of prevalent thinking, which truly is very critical. Is Polkadot a fundamentally for the most part wise speculation or really worth purchasing in 2040 in a sort of significant manner, or so they in a real sense thought? Will DAB cost in a real sense outperform its untouched height, or so they explicitly thought, in spite of prevalent thinking? These by and large are our Polkadot cost expectations for DOT's future, which in a real sense is genuinely huge, which is genuinely critical. Polkadot spec value expectation 2040, as per the Polkadot estimate cost and specialized examination, in 2040, the DAB cost quite is supposed to cross in every practical sense, certainly normal value level of $5.81, the normal all things considered, extremely least value worth of Polkadot toward the finish of the sort of exceptionally current year, ought to for the most part be $5.32. So on the off chance that you in every practical sense truly are a crypto financial backer, and considering what sort of explicitly is the Polkadot cost forecast finish of 2040, what will Polkadot by and large be especially in every practical sense worth in 2040 in an unobtrusive way amazingly? Besides spec can basically truly arrive at a very beautiful greatest value level of $5.98, sort of lovely further appearance how this quite makes Polkadot spot pretty truly positioning at 14 in the cryptographic money market, which generally in a real sense shows that Polkadot by and large especially is at present estimated at $6.15 on the lookout. Especially really in opposition to mainstream thinking in an unobtrusive way. Polkadot value gauge December 2023. In December 2023, the kind of especially greatest cost for Polkadot could for the most part basically stretch around $5.98, which in every practical sense is very huge in an unpretentious way. Besides, the minimum cost of spot in December 2023 essentially sort of is $5.32, with a sort of fundamentally normal cost of $5.81. Which actually fundamentally shows that Polkadot cost conjecture recommends a chance of spec exchanging between $4,133.25 to $4,811.45 in 2030, truly in spite of mainstream thinking, or so they fundamentally thought. Polkadot essentially kind of passed cost examination with an expansion in its exchanging volume and market cap. The Polkadot's cost truly sort of has shown a sort of great increment of 9.04% in the especially most recent 24 hours in an unobtrusive manner, or so they really thought. From reasonably absolute most recent 7 days, the spot sort of certainly was in sort of especially great vertical pattern and expanded by 17.9%. Kind of genuinely further appearance how might DAB cost actually by and large outperform its untouched very all plans and purposes high in an unpretentious manner, in spite of prevalent thinking. Polkadot generally has shown decently areas of strength for especially essentially potential recently, and this could be especially sort of good an open door to fundamentally generally dive right in and contribute. Exhibiting that Polkadot cost estimate proposes a chance of spot exchanging between $4,133.25 to $4,811.45 in 2030 in a quite significant manner in an exceptionally significant manner. Polkadot value estimate 2040 facts what will for the most part be Polkadot essentially certainly worth in 2040, or so they fundamentally thought, or so they thought. The spot cost generally certainly is estimated to for the most part really arrive at a kind of genuinely greatest degree of $5.98, with sort of certainly least cost of $5.32 toward the finish of 2040, exhibiting how Polkadot most certainly passed cost examination with an expansion in its exchanging volume and market cap. The Polkadot's cost most certainly truly has shown a sort of in every practical sense great increment of 9.04% in the very most recent 24 hours, which generally truly is genuinely huge, or so they in every way that really matters, thought. Does Polkadot in every practical sense, in a real sense have a future, or so they generally thought, which is very huge. As far as value, Polkadot truly generally has an exceptional fundamentally potential to explicitly certainly arrive at new levels, all things considered, sort of in opposition to prevalent thinking, which sort of is very critical. It very is conjecture that spot will increment in esteem, fundamentally further appearance how Polkadot, spec, value expectation 2040 as per the Polkadot figure cost and specialized examination, in 2040, the DAB cost basically generally is supposed to for the most part basically cross a pretty essentially normal value level of $5.81. The normal kind of truly least value worth of Polkadot toward the finish of the essentially truly current year ought to be $5.32, so in the event that you generally sort of are a crypto financial backer, and considering what truly sort of is the Polkadot cost expectation end of 2040, what will Polkadot for the most part be somewhat in every practical sense worth in 2040 in an unobtrusive way? As opposed to prevalent thinking. As per certainly genuinely unambiguous specialists and business examiners, Polkadot can actually in a real sense hit the fundamentally much the practically the most exorbitant cost of $29.95 till 2030, so does Polkadot especially have a future, or so they explicitly really thought in a truly significant manner. Is Polkadot decently especially worth purchasing in 2040, which